Hello, we are at week 4 of Create a Kick-Ass Business and Life You Love. Oh, a little bit flustered today. About 20 minutes ago, these bad boys arrived at my front doorstep. So feeling very excited about that, and there's lots of chatter going on everywhere, so I have to calm myself and get on with it. Okay, so today we are at week 4. And so you will have seen from your workbook that what I want you to really do this week is burrow down, get through this checklist and make sure that you've got all of your ducks in a row. You know, nobody likes to be left behind, and sometimes, you know, there is this feeling that we're being left behind because we haven't quite finished completion on something. So what I want to do today is just run through all of the elements that need to come together, all of the things that need to be done, and then you'll know that when you created everything on this checklist that you're good to go. All right, so the first thing is the things that you need to have achieved or feel as though you're across are: you have a business idea based on a known and successful model. And remember, all of this stuff is based on the learning that you've done so far, and we have covered off. So you have an idea based on a known and successful model. Your business idea is sustainable and is something that you love to do and are good at. You've done your research and you know people are making money doing this right now. You have built your product offering based on creating a solution for a niche you know very intimately. You've created a brand that is attractive to your niche, and you've created a product funnel to drive people through the 7 hours and 11 touch points it takes to convert someone. Every single element of your business is totally profesh. So that includes your website, your offering, you know, everything's got to be totally profesh. You know every objection that may come your way and how to meet these head on. You know, the purpose of us doing that exercise last time was because we're going to have these objections in our head. You know, we're going to have that go on. And so while we have that go on and we let it create noise, it's going to hold us back. So what we need to do is face them head on, you know, and know that if these objections come our way, we know we can answer them. Of course, also knowing that our product is not going to be for everybody, but if these are questions that you know people are going to ask, you know, if you already know that you've got a way to answer those questions, then you're going to feel very ready to be able to go out and have those sales conversations. You've developed your beta program and you're ready to test it. And lastly, you've completed the money mindset exercise to clear you of any money blocks around your business, because we know that that's super important. We know that if you don't clear those money blocks and you don't get on top of those money blocks, then that's going to affect your business. So, you know, in your own time, go through that checklist and just make sure that you've got all of those things covered. And obviously, if not, then go back and just, you know, go through the work and make sure that you get it done so you can circle the yes on every one of those. So what we're talking about in this week as well is fitness, but before we get to that, what I'm going to talk to you about is this thought around the fact that you are your brand, and putting your best foot forward or putting your best package forward is really important. And this ties in a lot with sort of our fitness and our health and how we take care of each other. A lot of, you know, how we want to be able to put ourselves forward is really about how we feel about ourselves. We're always going to hold ourselves back a little bit if we don't feel fully confident and energetic and vibrant and all that sort of stuff. And that comes down to how we take care of ourselves a lot of the time. You know, not everybody's a runway model and not everybody's going to have the perfect face or the perfect body or any of that. But what can happen is we can put our best foot forward based on, you know, what we have to work with. So let's go through this sheet. So this is the same one that you have printed out. So I'm talking about, forget about website shame, let's talk about image shame. The reality, and sometimes this is very confronting for people, but I am going to put it out there. The reality is that how you look matters and your style matters. As I said, not every entrepreneurial female is going to be a runway model, you know, with a clothes horse figure to match, but every single female in the world is capable of developing a signature style that strengthens their brand and helps them feel good about themselves. Truly, if you want to be taken seriously in your industry, you must look the goods. It's worth the effort. that you take and the time and the money spent, because those entrepreneurial females who make the big bucks make them a whole lot easier than the average bear if they're highly polished and they look the part. Especially if you plan on selling a premium service or product, it's really crucial that you reek of success, because your potential clients are coming to you because they want what you've got. Your job is to be aspirational, to reflect the image of the woman that they're aspiring to be. So are we clear on that? So, you know, for me, if I rocked up at my mastermind program, you know, with the butt hanging out of my pants and scuffed shoes and I hadn't bothered doing my hair, you know, that is going to immediately damage my brand. You know, my brand is about polish. It's about elegance. So, you know, on those mastermind days, you know, I invest very heavily in the outfits that I wear. I make sure that, you know, my hair and my makeup is immaculate. My nails are always done. It's very, very important, and it strengthens my brand. So, you know, your image is going to do one of two things. It's going to strengthen your brand or it's going to damage it. And so we need to make sure that we're, you know, putting ourselves in the best position to succeed. And, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, this comes down to how we present ourselves. So we're going to do a bit of an audit. And I want you to give yourself a score of 1. 1 is totally tragic, and to 10, which is thebomb.com, on, you know, each of these points. So pretty quickly, you're going to see where you need to go to work. So I want you to answer the following questions out of 10, again in your own time, but let's just run through them. So I have a signature style that is in keeping with my brand. My hair is maintained and in a modern style that suits me and my brand. My clothes are high quality, in good repair, and suit my shape. Now, when I talk good repair, you know, I think the last dress that I bought for my mastermind, when I talk about high quality, I think the last dress that I bought for my mastermind was $750, and that's kind of what I spend these days. That's not everybody's going to be able to do that with where they're at that moment in time, you know, based on your budget. But, you know, the highest quality that you can afford. And, you know, sometimes you don't have to spend a lot and the cut is still quite amazing. So really look for good quality fabrics and good cut within your budget, and try and get the best quality you can for your budget. The next item is my shoes are high quality, in good repair, and suit me and my brand. My nails are well maintained with regular manis and pedis, whether you do those at home or you pay someone to do them for you. You know, the first thing that I used to remember every time that I was going out was, oh crap, I've got to do my nails. You know, so now it's just every 2 weeks without fail, I go and get them done, and then I know they're done. And, you know, I know a lot of the women on the program too, on the days that they turn up, you know, they make sure that all of that stuff's done. You know, they want to look the goods. And if they haven't done it, you know, they're trying to hide their hands, because, you know, we're building brands that, you know, image is a big part of. Okay, so whenever I'm out in public, I dress to honor my brand. That's interesting, isn't it? Because we like to think, you know, when we're having a day off, we're having a day off. But I'll tell you something, my mum and I were out at lunch. I took her to this amazing place called the Conservatory at Crown, which is at the casino here in Melbourne. It's a beautiful, amazing place. And there was a lady who I recognised from a blog that I follow. And I said to Mum, that's from the blog I follow. And Mum said, what? She said, she doesn't look like this person. And I said, because this woman has a fashion and lifestyle blog, and she's all about fashion and high-end brands and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, she did look pretty average that day. And I said to my mum, you know, she's probably having a day off. She's allowed. You know, she was dressed in kind of baggy jeans, and it did not scream her brand. And I know everybody is, you know, more than entitled to take a day off. But I guess if it were me and I were heading out to lunch, I'm still going to want to make sure that I look the part, especially in an environment like that. Did that damage her brand? Not to me, you know, because I've followed this lady's blog for a long time, and I know that I'm thinking she would die if she knew, you know, it was probably a one-off day for her. But, you know, when I do go out, if I'm just heading down to the local farmer's market or whatever, I still want to make sure that I look okay. I, you know, bounce around the house in my pajama pants or trackies or whatever. But when I go out, I still try to, you know, make a bit of an effort. I'm not an all-out Real Housewives of OC, high heels and all the rest of it when I go to the market, but I do, do make sure that I'm presentable. I am at my ideal weight or a weight that I'm happy with. That's a big one, and it's going to impact. So if you're not there, it's important to get there. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. My makeup is contemporary and suits me and my brand. My jewelry is tasteful and suits me and my brand. So just do a bit of an audit. It is really all about, I probably should put one in there about, are your legs hairy or not too? I should have that in there. But this is really, it's just, again, a checklist of how am I doing? How am I going as a representative of my brand, and, where do I need to do the work? Usually you know yourself anyway. And honestly, when you start to do those things, it makes such a big difference to your energy, and it makes such a big difference to what happens in your business. I know for me, the more money that I started to spend on clothes and the more effort that I made, not even on the mastermind days, but just sort of surrounding all of that, it makes such a difference. I can't explain why, but something shifts, something definitely shifts. So definitely worth the time. So even if it means going into your wardrobe and, all the stuff that you tend to default to because it is comfortable, stick it right down the back and grab the stuff that you've been saving for good and drag it to the front and spend, a couple of hours going through and putting together, some ideas for outfits that you're going to be able to wear, and get excited about it. Get excited about getting up and getting dressed every day, even if you're working from your home office. Make sure that you dress the part so that you feel the part. It really is an energy thing. And especially if you're out in public and you're trying to secure business and you're doing that all the time, when you're an entrepreneur, whether you like it or not, or know it or not, we're always representing our brand, and there's always the off chance that we're going to attract business. Just the reason I got sidetracked then was that my last client that I picked up is a male personal trainer who I'm running through a coaching program, and I go to the gym. He just saw me at the gym and then heard some of the other trainers talk about what I do, and he followed me on Facebook and he got in touch. And even at the gym, in my early days of training, and especially when I was a taekwondo competitor, I used to go to the gym and think, why have they got makeup on? You're going to the gym. And now, as a 46-year-old woman who would not like to leave the house very often without makeup, I go to the gym, I still put a little bit of makeup on. Doesn't matter if I sweat it off. It's how I look when I walk in the door, as far as I'm concerned. And my outfits that I wear to the gym, you can tell that I've spent money on them and I put them together well and all the rest of it. And so even when I'm at the gym working out, I'm not there selling my wares by any stretch. But, you always have to be aware of the fact that people are talking and she's that woman that does whatever. And so really important to always do that. I'm not going to harp on that any longer. I think you get the point. Just always putting your best foot forward and knowing that it does have an impact. So as I said earlier, much of how you present yourself to the world comes down to how you feel about the way you look and the energy that flows from taking good care of yourself and knowing you look good. Overall, your very confidence is impacted by this, so it's so important to put steps in place to ensure you look and feel great on a daily basis. Without this, your business will struggle. I'm telling you, you may not believe me or you may know it already, but if you don't feel good about yourself physically, it's going to impact your business. I know this for sure because I've experienced it myself when I've been so busy and bogged down with my work that I just keep blowing the gym off because I just want to get this done. And when this is done, I'll get back there. I'll get there tomorrow. I'll get there tomorrow. I've spent a month where every day I've got to put my workout gear on to go and, do my training session, and then got bogged down and not gone. That's gone on for weeks at a time. So, I know I've been there, and the end result of that is I look down and go, oh God, I feel so, even if I haven't put on any weight, my body doesn't feel good. I start to get, sore neck and sore back from being on my computer for so long, and my energy changes. And it has a very, very, very bad impact on your business because it's all about, we know everything is about energy attracting energy. So we must feel good. So what I've done is I've included the fitness chapter of my book for you to read on this subject. And you'll see my philosophy in there is, you know, for the most part, I'm very relaxed about the way that I eat. And when I have the time, you know, I do prepare nice things and I go and sit outside or sit at my dining table and step away from my desk and really enjoy a lovely meal. There are other times when I need to lean out a little bit, and it's all about pre-prepared meals, you know, and I make sure that I pre-prepare them all for a few days in advance, and then I just, even when I'm working at my desk, grab them from my fridge and then eat them. Because I know I'm not going to take the time to go and make something and sit down and eat it. So it's just that. For me, it's about doing what works at the time, but it always is about ensuring that I am feeding my body good foods and that I'm moving every day so that my energy is good and I feel good about how my body looks and feels. You know, I like to feel strong, I like to feel energetic, and I like my body to feel tight. You know, I don't like to feel any wobbly bits. So for me, it's very important. Exercise has always been a priority for me, and it still is now. You know, I have had those periods of time where I've been head down, bum up in creation mode. And, you know, when I say I haven't been to the gym for a month, that probably means that I got there, you know, 3 days a week instead of the usual 6 or something like that. So, and I might just get out and go for a quick walk in the morning, because I think at least if I get nothing else done, I've done that. So I'm never totally inactive, but I do like to train very hard for at least an hour a day, at least 6 days a week. And I feel good that way. Everybody's different and you have to find your own balance. But what I want for you to take away from this is that if you're not comfortable in your body and your energy levels aren't great, it will impact your business in a really negative way. And it will impact, because it impacts the way you feel about yourself. And if you're not feeling great, that energy then flows into other things, you know. So it drains your confidence. It takes your confidence away. When you feel great, and you know that when you get up in the morning, it doesn't matter what piece of clothing that you put on your body, you feel great. That's a good feeling, you know, and it's a good way to start the day. There is nothing worse than having to get up, have a shower, go to get dressed and be thinking, there's nothing I want to wear today because it all looks crap. You know, it's not a good feeling. And imagine, you know, what that does to your business when you then head into your day, you know, putting something on to just cover yourself up because you don't feel great. So I don't think anything else needs to be said, really. It is all in the book, the chapter that is in the book. But know that you must take care of yourself, and that if you don't, it's going to impact your business. If you haven't experienced that already, if you fail to take care of yourself, you will notice that happen. Anyway, if we've got questions, post them now. Otherwise, that's about it for this one. So in summary, go back over that checklist, make sure that you've got all of your ducks in a row around that, read the chapter on fitness, and implement change where you need to implement change, and know the gravity of the need to do so. And the other stuff is just about, you know, your image and going through that audit and working out, you know, where do I need to work? Spend some time in your wardrobe, going through stuff, dragging stuff forward that you love to wear, stuff that makes you feel really, really good. That's what you want to be wearing. And, you know, as a challenge, I'd like to say to you, for the next 30 days, you don't wear anything other than the things that make you feel good. You know, nothing that's, ideally we want the things that feel good to be comfortable, but rarely is that the case, especially when it comes to heels. So what I want you to do is every day dress in something that makes you feel amazing, even if it's uncomfortable. Do your makeup so that you feel great, do your hair, get your nails done, go get your bits waxed if that's what you need to do. But whatever you need to do to feel bulletproof in your skin, because it will have a positive impact to your business. No questions? So that is it. I will see you next week for our final week. Now next week I'm going in for hip surgery first thing in the morning. So I'm not going to be very compass mentis for a few days after that, but I'll be good to go by the next mastermind. So if I'm going to try and look my polished, not that I'm seeing a bit stray hair there. Going to try to do my best to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but if I'm a little bit slow, then you'll understand why it's still going to be the drugs in my system. But wish me luck, and I will see you on the other side. Have an awesome week and put that stuff into practice. Bye.